If you are watching this, you are probably stuck between two options, sourcing products online or flying all the way to China to do it offline. Don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to break down the common approaches in online and offline sourcing and the pros and cons of both of them. And we'll give you a decision framework that enables you to make the right decision. So without further ado, let's get started. Approaches and choices. You probably know that there are many online sourcing platforms out there like Alibaba, Global Sources, Made in China, 1688, and Go. Each of these platforms have their own advantages and disadvantages, but Alibaba and Global Sources are the most popular ones. In the upcoming videos, we will compare Alibaba and Global Sources and get to the nitty-gritty details of how you can use each of them. But here, we are just going to have an overall comparison between online platforms and offline sourcing options. If you want to source products offline, the usual options are local wholesale markets like Yiwu International Trade Market and Shenzhen Huaqiangbei Electronics Market, and trade shows like Canton Fair and Beijing Auto Fair or other industry-specific ones. If you don't know which local market to visit before coming to China, do some online research or keep watching my videos. If you don't know how to find trade shows and participate in them, you can visit websites like 10times.com or official convention center websites for more information about trade shows. I have left the link of the websites of some convention centers down in the description. Anyways, if you have trouble with finding a suitable wholesale market or trade show, feel free to contact me. Overall comparison. In this comparison, we are going to compare online and offline sourcing options based on 6 of the most important factors. The first one is entry barrier. Obviously, the entry barrier for online sourcing is much lower. You just need a computer and internet connection to start sourcing online. But for sourcing offline, you need to allocate a significant amount of money and time to travel to China. So in this case, online sourcing has a very clear advantage. Process complexity. Online sourcing platforms provide a standard framework and many tools for the sourcing process and make it much simpler. Learning how to use them is pretty straightforward. For example, on online platforms, with a few clicks, you can get access to hundreds or thousands of pre-vetted suppliers and see their information from basic company overview to certifications and audit reports in one single page. Then you can contact them using built-in chat tools, and then you can make payments quickly through those platforms. But when you are sourcing products offline, there is no framework, so there is much more due diligence that you need to do to avoid problems. Communication efficiency. All sourcing platforms provide communication tools, and some of them have built-in translation functions, which make things easier. There will be also digital records of your communication on these platforms, which you can use for reference in future. But communicating online lacks some of very important elements of communication, which are body language and tone. On the other hand, while sourcing offline, you can have a genuine face-to-face communication that helps much more with understanding and creating long-lasting business relationships, especially considering the business culture in China. Another good aspect of sourcing offline is that you can have direct access to decision makers, which makes the negotiation process much more efficient. The downturn is that you might need to hire a good translator to help communicate effectively. Fraud risk. Most online platforms have ways to decrease fraud risk. For example, Global Sources meticulously vets suppliers to ensure that they are reliable and credible. Alibaba has buyer protection programs like Trade Assurance and Alibaba Guaranteed. While sourcing offline, the fraud risk totally depends on yourself. If you do your due diligence and take the right actions, you'll be safe. But if you don't know what to do or neglect the risks, you might end up making very expensive mistakes. Total landed cost. The initial purchase price of goods is usually higher when you source products online. But since you don't have to pay for travel expenses, the total landed cost for small purchases is going to be smaller. But when you source offline and talk to suppliers face-to-face, they will take you much more seriously and you will have a much better leverage for negotiating prices. But the leverage can only make up for the travel expenses if the purchase amount is large enough. Market insights. When sourcing online, you can use tools to get data-driven information about demand and trends. But as the business owner and the main decision maker, traveling to China and seeing the market yourself is going to give you more valuable business ideas and insights. Here, I also have a bonus point. Apart from business, if you're like me, always sitting in front of a computer and chatting with people or talking on phone can be pretty boring. There are some other beauties to offline sourcing that online sourcing can never match. China is a country with a wide range of amazingly beautiful sceneries and ancient culture, which makes traveling to China a life-changing experience, especially for those who like adventures, talking to different people, and learning about other cultures. After all, work hours are also a part of life, and why not if you can make it enjoyable? Considering the pros and cons of online and offline sourcing approaches, I recommend that you start sourcing online if you have a small purchase amount and don't have much experience with importing goods from China. And then try to use a combination of online and offline resources as your business grows and you gain more experience. No matter if you want to source products online or offline, you can learn a lot on my channel. So don't forget subscribing and clicking that bell icon. If you want someone to help you with sourcing products from China and do the due diligence, you can check our website and book a meeting with me. We are your one-stop solution to sourcing products from China. In the next video, I will compare the two most popular online sourcing platforms, Alibaba and Global Sources, and tell you about the pros and cons of each of them. Bye and see you there.